Hello, my name is Charisma. I am 19 years old and I am currently a student at Michigan State University. My major is in psychology with a minor of sociology, and I am sending in this video in order to complete the process for the Somethings Mentor position. The first question that you guys have for me is am I most passionate about and why? One of the things that I am most passionate about is clinical psychology as well as helping people. I love clinical psychology because it allows for me to explore the mind of people who have mental health conditions and disorders that are similar or same as my conditions. I am currently diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder as well as mild depression. So I love to be able to explore the mind and figure out why not only I have this condition but as well as other people and or similar conditions, and what can I do as well to be able to provide them the care and the support that they need to maintain or overcome these mental health problems. One of the most extracurricular experiences I am most proud of is being a part of the Twin Registry as a research assistant. I have recently been accepted to participate and help them with their studies. Basically, what I would be doing is helping them study children who have antisocial personality disorder and coming up with ways for them to be able to maintain their behavior or to be able to grow out of their behavior. I am most proud of this for myself because I never thought I would see myself getting into a research position field, especially at such a young age, as well as just being so excited to learn about this condition and how I can help the children who are struggling with this disorder. One of the most challenging experiences that I have been through was when I lost 3 family members consecutively back to back. It first started off with my grandmother, who passed away at the age of 76 years old. She ended up passing away of COVID. After that, while we were traveling back up from North Carolina from my grandmother's funeral, I found out that my aunt, who was diagnosed with brain cancer, was on her last life and that she would basically pass away very soon. We did go to see my aunt, and very much so soon after she did pass away. And then after that, a couple months later, my aunt, who was my grandmother's twin sister, who I was also very close to, ended up passing away as well. Experiencing the death of 3 of my most important, valuable, incredible people in my life, it made me experience the world to do whatever I want to do whatever I can do, and not to limit my potential. One of the things that my aunt, who passed away of cancer, always said to do was she always said she wanted to do whatever she wanted to do, whether that meant opening a business, that meant owning a car, owning a house, getting her education, and that lady did it. Not only did she own an ice cream shop, she was a teacher, she owned her house, she owned her car, and even though she passed away at such a young age of 50 years old, her mindset of wanting and knowing that she would do whatever she wanted to do before leaving this world was something that stuck hard to me, mainly because you never know when your last days are going to be. And so I definitely cherish her mindset regarding that, and I always keep that in mind when doing whatever I want to do, and that mindset has definitely helped me accomplish certain things in my life. The next question that you guys have for me is, what about my personality, interest, or experience makes me think that I could resonate with teens as their mentor? So to firstly start off, I am a very chilled, laid back, welcoming person. I've always had tried to keep a welcoming spirit amongst myself. I'm always going to be an opening and listening ear to people. I always want to know more about what people are going through and how they are feeling. And engagement is one of the biggest things that I try to have, especially when people are going through a crisis. Because people want to be heard when they're going through things, and they should want to feel heard. And so I try to always keep that personality and that mindset open when talking to people. Another thing as well is just I am very non-judgmental. You can tell me anything and I truly do mean anything, and I will not be judgmental about it. I understand that we are, especially teenagers, we are teenagers. We make mistakes. Things happen and we learn from them. And so those personalities is the things that I think is very important, especially when dealing with the younger generation and the younger demographic. As far as interest and experience, my interest in psychology, I think, is a very big thing when it comes to working with the teenagers. Understanding what they may be going through mentally and understanding their mindset is something that I think would help me be able to better make them feel welcome and better make them feel like they can talk to me, and help them maintain whatever they're going through or overcome whatever they're going through. I also think another thing is I have worked as a volunteer for the crisis text line. That has helped me prepare for any crisis moment, as well as just helped me learn to be very calm in situations where a person may not be as calm. And sometimes, especially as teenagers, we can be everywhere with our emotions and our feelings, especially when we don't understand what's happening to us. So I think that those three things would help me be able to work with teenagers and be their mentor. So yeah. When it comes to helping my colleagues or my friends or family, I am definitely the lifeline. But one of the things that I prioritize the most is hearing them out and listening to them. Also asking questions to allow for them, not only for them to understand what their emotions are and help them process their emotions, but as well as to help me understand what they may be going through and how I can help them and overcome what they're going through and the emotions that they are feeling. Another thing that I definitely try to do is allow for them to take breaths. I practice Pilates and yoga, and so breathing techniques is something that I definitely do know how to do, and I have made my mission to really practice, because as someone with generalized anxiety, I also suffer with this, and sometimes I need those breathing techniques. So breathing techniques, and as well as just writing in their journal or writing about whatever they're feeling, or coloring, or anything that can help them take their mind off of what they're going through. I try to strategize what that may look like for them. One of the most complicated tasks that I had to resolve was when I was in RBT. I worked with a client. And basically what an RBT is they are people who work with clients who have autism, or Down syndrome, or ADHD, and they perform tasks with them to help them with their memory, language, motor skills, physical skills. It can be really anything. But I was working with my client, and one of the things that they had to do was memorize their mother's phone number. And for the life of them, they could not, the poor sweet thing, could not memorize what their mother's phone number was. They would get the first area code, which at the time I was living in North Carolina, so it was 336. And so it would say 336, and then they would just kind of not know, and eventually they got so frustrated. One of the behaviors that they would do was they would laugh. So they would say 336, and they would just stop and they would laugh. And sometimes as well, it would be, they would say 336, stop, laugh, and then run off. And so eventually what I and my manager decided to do was, we decided to see maybe if they needed to physically see their parent, as well to help their imagery of the their imagery of the phone number. So we did 336, and we would say 336, and we said the number while, you know, the mom was right there. And eventually they did get the number. And so all the little poor kiddo, all the kiddo needed was just to see their mom, I guess, to confirm that this number was connected to their mother and be able to help them memorize it. So it was super cool, especially working, being in psychology and majoring in it, to see how their mind processed the phone number and what helped them process the phone number. What has been the greatest change in my life was, currently I moved up to Michigan, well, moved back to Michigan. I'm originally from here, to attend Michigan State University. That was a very big move. I moved from North Carolina. So that was a very, very, very big move. A way that I handled it was just making sure that my finances were intact, talking to my therapist and expressing my concerns or issues with the move and how I could overcome those feelings, and as well as just making sure everything that I could put into place was in place. And with doing all of that, it definitely helped me, and it definitely made my moving process up here more great, smooth, and easy, and more confident. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, my name is Charisma Mayo. I hope to hear back from the Somethings team soon, and I appreciate you guys for looking into my application. Bye.